I just popped round to see Nick, and he's holding a slab. That should be an island, mate. You said you was having a few problems with your bobbin. Every time you pulled it down, you keep pulling up, and you pulled into it, and you brought back that. I should say it's about £4 or £5, mate.
Yeah. First bream in years.
I'll just put that bream back. And he's been swimming around for about 5 minutes.
I think that just shows how thick the weed is.
Yeah. It looks a right slab from this side of the camera. Anyway. Yeah, you're right there, mate. It's a real extensive, thick bank of weed, that is. So, 8:25. We've reeled in and we've come for a look. And in front of your computer screens or mobiles, whatever you're using to view this blog, this is Three Corner Lake. Now, when we came down here yesterday, there was quite a few anglers dotted around this end of the lake, and today there's nobody. They're all up the other side of the lake. So we're going to go for a wander and see what we can find. So we walked around the entire lake yesterday, and there was well, we saw one carp, whereas the week before we saw about 10 or 11. Saying that, it was quite severe high pressure, but it's going to be warm today, isn't it, though, mate? So
just keeping our options open at the moment.
Yeah, we're going to have a good walk around here again and have a talk amongst ourselves. But if we're not 100% sure, we'll just stay put. Simple as that. And Jay says we just spoke to him on the way down here, and the wind's going to switch yet again. So.
And it's in the direction which is supposedly going to work in our favour.
Yep. Right, mate, let's go for a walk. Right then, 10 to 11, and you might notice by this shot that we've moved. Just got things sorted. Just put the old bivvy up on the brolly, and got all 3 rods out. And we're on Three Corner Lake. And we've had a little bit of a wind trickling down here every now and then. We've seen fish, which is a good sign. Upper layers and cruising. But old Jay's come past again walking the dog, and he says, I bet you feel confident being down here, lads. So hoping he knows something that we don't. But just to run through what I'm doing and the tactics. Right-hander, I've got a light pink CM1 corkball pop-up on a naked choddy, and that one's basically dead central in the middle of the lake. Middle rod, that's on a snowman presentation. I dropped that one about 2 rod lengths short, and that's on the snowman, as I said, CM1 bottom bait with a white CM1 pop-up. And my left-hander, that's just fished under that tree. And that's on another snowman presentation. On that one I've got a CM1 bottom bait and a kipper tipper, and I've just scattered a good 10-15 handfuls of chopped boilies and a few old ones. Incidentally, both the snowman presentations are complemented with a small PVA bag. I like that tactic, I think it works well. Certainly on the new water that I'm fishing this year. And hopefully it's going to stand me in good stead on this one. So yep, I've managed to get the rods in and a nice slap line. So I do feel really confident, certainly with the presentation. Whether the carp are going to oblige, only time will tell. Nick's just setting up to the right of me. So I'll pop round and say hello to him in a bit, and then we're going to have a very late breakfast because didn't have a chance this morning, obviously coming to have a look at the lake and packing up. So we're going to have a brunch. Nice sausage, bacon and beans. Can't wait because I'm absolutely starving. Right, regards the cog system, which Nick gave us a brief insight yesterday on with the lead. This is the system with rig in its entirety. So there you go, mate.
Yeah, it's basically, like I said, it's attached to a lead clip. When the fish picks up the hook bait from there, gets the full weight of the lead. As it pulls, it should, if you can get it to do it, it should drop out like that. And you can have the lead still attached, or if you're fishing heavy weed, you can obviously have the lead to discharge completely.
Yeah, so if you're fishing a really mega weedy water, you could literally just, on that lead clip, you could, there's normally a little like, what's the word, like little nodules.
You've got little grooves.
Yeah, grooves, that's the word.
Yeah, basically I would, you know, definitely drop the lead if you're fishing really heavy venues. I mean, if it's clear, there's no need. I mean, leads these days aren't cheap.
No, they're not. So to drop the lead, you'd only just literally nick on the tail rubber just enough so you could get the lead out there in the cast.
Yeah.
And then obviously, as Nick said, on the take, the fish picks up the rig, obviously, pulls up the centre end of the lake, which will obviously down force the rig with that, obviously the 3 ounce on the other end, and then that will just pull out the little groove in the middle of the lead. And if you've only just nicked on your tail rubber, it will dump the lead. But if you want it obviously to stay on, you just push on the tail rubber a bit more firmly.
That's what would happen once it's hooked. It'll be straight in there, and as the fish bolts away, that will release.
Lovely stuff.
It's a brilliant rig. It's probably the best rig I've used now, in conjunction with my favourite snowman setup. And Matt will bear witness that once these fish are hooked on this system, they're hooked.
Absolutely nailed.
So I mean, give it a try if
see if it works tonight. Well, there you go then, folks. If you haven't seen it before, that's the cog system. So Nick's now going to put that in the pond.
Yep.
And that's his third and final rod out. Great stuff.
Right.
Right, one thing I've spotted since we've been here, and certainly on the last visit, is the dreaded cormorant. Tell you what, that's one big bird, that is. And you can see why it does so much damage. Excuse the wobbly filming here, but I've gone and forgot the tripod. But there's rumours that they're going to start culling these things, and in my opinion, oh, there we go, sooner the better. Look at that. That's one mean bird. That is a big bird. Right, just after 4:30, and bit of an update. Nick's just topping up his swims. Not really much to say, other than the wind's still hacking down here, and it's looking really carpy. I've been watching the water now for a good 2.5–3 hours. Haven't seen anything roll in the way of carp. There's been plenty of bits and bobs taking stuff off the surface, which appear to be small roach, and believe it or not, jack pike. There's a load of little pike in the margins. I'll try and get one of them on the camera if I can, because they're really cute. They're literally like 5 or 6 ounces, but yep, all's quiet, and we've both agreed that the rods ain't going to be moving at all. We're going to leave the rods put. The only time they're going to be moved is if we get a take, or when we reel in to go home. They're in good positions. Presentation's ideal, so can't really see any reason to respot for this evening. So we've both agreed on that, and that's what we're going to do. So, going to put some more gear in, are you, mate?
I am. I'm going to keep applying a bit more. You know, got to keep it going in. Yeah, I got them carp are going to find it, like, you know. Scattering it a lot. Literally all over the place, not necessarily where my hook baits actually are. Just giving them a bit of a trail so I can just pick off the bait, and then hopefully they'll make their way to the hook bait and bang.
Yeah, that's the theory.
Yeah,
Just one thing I want to add, this is the area that you fished the first time you ever fished here, which
yeah.
was last year,
That's correct.
and you caught 3 fish,
I did, yeah.
including one mahoosive dinner plate in the way of a bream.
Oh, yes. And also where I fell over as I was talking to you, I literally went flying.
Oh yeah, there's a bit of a story to that one. I was down the club water that day, and I couldn't make it up here, but I could do a short session anyway. I spoke to Nick and he got settled in, and he was saying, Matt, you're going to love it down here, we've got to get down here, mate. And all of a sudden, mate, I've got to go. I hung up and had a phone call about an hour later saying, well, one nearly fell over, either broke my neck or broke my leg. But the good news is I've just nailed an absolute lump.
Yeah.
And you had one, how big was it, mate?
Sorry?
How big was the fish, the one that you had?
From this spot, you know, I can't remember what size the biggest one I had from here, or whether it was over there, because I actually changed spots after 2 days because there was nothing happening on here, and I moved over to what is my favourite spot. Total 25, 20, I think it was a 21 common.
Yeah, you had that two-tone mirror.
And a big fish.
Well, I've got the stills, I'm sure I have on my computer.
Yeah,
so,
it's also on the Nene Valley website, which you'll see all the size of all the fish.
Well, I'll try and source them pictures, mate, and incorporate just to give people the general gist.
Yeah,
But, there's some cracking fish in here, really is. Yeah, if you go on their Facebook page, everything you need to know is on there. Just search for Nene Valley Fisheries, and there's some real stunners, absolute stunners in there.
I mean, there are some big fish in here, but as Jay said earlier, they did lose a few fish due to flooding back into the big lake at the back of us, where we ironically fished last night.
Yep, and there's the river as well, which is the other side of Long Lake, I think.
Long Lake as opposed to Big Lake, yeah.
So, but no, yeah, I'll try and source them pictures, mate, and get them on here. And hopefully we'll have something to show you live. But, you know.
Well, I mean, we're applying the bait well enough, so...
Yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of it out there, and we're assured that the residents of Three Corner Lake like their boilies, so...
Yeah.
We've been told, well, we were told this morning that there was a lad here, I think it was...
Last week.
Was it last week? But he actually applied a lot of particle, and he said he literally leathered it in. He had more tench than bream, but he did actually have a couple of carp amongst them. But we were told that he literally stuck about 7 or 8 kilo of mixed particles. So if they come over your spots and they get their heads down, you know, they are up for a bit of grub, like, so.
But you've got to persevere, obviously, with getting through tench and bream first.
Yeah.
But that said, the chances are you might not even get any interference from him. You may have carp after carp.
You just don't know, do you?
It's just it's one of those places, isn't it? I mean, I've always known it to be a boily water, but you got to try what you're happy with.
That's it. I mean, I should say 95% of my fishing's boiling fishing, and I'm sure you're the same. You know, like, so it's like anything, and you got to go what you're confident in.
Yeah. Normally, if I'm fishing like margins, I do like to put a bit of particle pellet in the margins.
Yeah. The only thing I've done with my margin spot is still boiling, but I've just put chops in.
Yeah.
But the main spots in the middle, I've just put in whole boilies.
Yeah.
Where I'm using 16 millers and you're using 14s, Nick.
14s, yeah.
So there you go then. Well, you're going to stick a bit more bait in, mate, and no doubt we'll catch up with everyone a bit later.
Hopefully with a fish.
Well, that's the idea and that's the plan.